Hey guys, want to show you how to identify amaranth today. It's a very important plant to learn how to identify, especially if you're out here in the desert. Um, the leaves are edible and the seeds are edible, and you can also use it as feed for your animals. Chickens love to eat it. Rabbits will eat the whole thing, including the stems and the roots. Um, and yeah, it grows everywhere in the desert. There are many different varieties, so they're not all the same color, but they all have generally the same um, shape and structure. So this is a type of amaranth that I got offline. It is it's as you can see, it's got red stems, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull one up so you can see. Try to get in the light here so you can see this, the structure. The leaves will always, you'll see they always have this little leaf that grows in between a main stem or a branch and the main stem. You see that right there? Now it's not always like a leaf. Sometimes it's a little thorn or like a hair, but you'll see arrowhead shaped leaves underneath. It's kind of shiny, and the veins pop out. You see how the veins pop out? It's like that with all of them. And then on the top, it's always the seeds are always hanging down like that. It's like kind of like my son calls it a candy cane. But the branches, they're not opposite. They're always kind of like, what's the word, catty corner to each other. So like, whereas this one is on the right side, this one is up, this next one is up into the side. It's not like directly opposed or directly opposite of this branch. It's just up and over a little bit. You see that? See that? What are you doing, Trigger? What are you doing? You don't want to be on the camera? He's hiding himself from the camera. Anyways, so that's amaranth in a nutshell. Really important to learn how to identify it. And yeah, it's good for you. You can eat it. So yeah. Anyways, guys, let me see. I'll show you another like wild version of it. I'll take you out somewhere and show you what it looks like grown in the wild, because that's a hybrid cultivated version. So here's another example of amaranth. You can see it could be much bigger than the small ones. Sometimes they actually have thorns on them. You can see how the branches are situated right here. There's one on this side, and then it's up and to the side, and then up and to the side. There's always these little hairs or little leaves that grow in the middle where one branch connects to the stem. And you don't ever want to eat the ones that are on the side of the road like this, because the city comes and they spray it with dioxin to try to kill it. But the amaranth is very resilient, so it always grows back. But anyways, that's just another example of how the different variations of amaranth are, how many different variations there are. Like this one has a red stem, this one's kind of greenish yellow. They vary in size, but the overall structure is always the same. As long as you can identify the way in which the plant grows, you'll always be able to identify it. So there you go. So that's it, guys. Amaranth is pretty easy to identify. Once you learn how to identify it and you learn how to use it, you'll never run out of food for your animals, and you'll never run out of food for yourself either, because that's one plant that grows throughout the entire country. Every single region of our nation has amaranth. So even if even if there is a famine or
some kind of slowdown in the supply chain, Amaranth will pretty much always be there. If there's one plant that you got to learn how to identify, it's Amaranth, because you can get hybrid versions of that plant, and you can grow it anywhere in your backyard. You can grow it in the desert, doesn't matter. They're very drought tolerant. They're very resistant to many different diseases that other plants are not. They're also very resistant to chemicals like Roundup. Roundup might kill half of the amaranth species, but because there's so much genetic diversity, it won't kill the other half. So if you can go out there, collect the ones that are most resilient in your neck of the woods and grow them, you'll have pretty decent food security for yourself and for your animals. So that's why I recommend, if there's one thing that you grow, you should grow amaranth, because it grows everywhere. And if you get one that produces a lot of seeds, you'll never run out of bread. I'll just give you an example real quick. Come on over here with me to my seed drawer. One of my plants produced 3 ounces of seed. All right, 3 ounces of seed. You might not think that's a lot, but for one plant, it kind of is. I could grind that up, turn it into bread, and if I got 100 of those plants in my backyard, then that means I got 300 ounces at least of that grain. All right, so that'll last my family a long time during a famine. And we got the leaves and we got the stems. We can give the rest of it to the chickens or to the rabbits, or we can chop it up, cut it up, give it to the fish or whatever. Okay, so look more into that plant. And guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share the videos with your friends, and I'll catch you back for another episode. See you.